Hi everyone, it's Rachel from North Brisbane Psychologists making a video on my bed with the lovely tapestry behind me from my husband's grandmother. Haven't made a video in front of that for quite some time. With Christmas right around the corner, I thought I'd make a short video about the silly season and how to manage stress. What are some of the challenges that we often find around this time of year, and what are some of the things you can do about that? So some people find that Christmas is difficult because of the family tensions that come up around organising Christmas and on Christmas Day itself. Other people find Christmas stressful because there are financial pressures to spend money on presents and food. Perhaps they work casually or work for themselves, like I do, and if you take a few weeks off over Christmas, you don't get any income. Some people find Christmas stressful because it brings up grief. Perhaps there's been a divorce or a breakup. Perhaps there have been deaths in your life, a loss of a loved one, and Christmas reminds you of your grief. Perhaps there are challenges because you live in a blended family and trying to coordinate, this is my situation, trying to coordinate everybody around the Christmas period so that you can see them, catch up, and avoid too much conflict or family tensions. That can be a source of stress. Other people are lonely on Christmas. They don't have parents or children or family or friends who they can spend time with. So what can you do? What can you do? There's so many things I could say. Let's just focus on a couple. So in terms of, let me start from the back. In terms of loneliness and isolation, my suggestions are that if you are going to be alone and feel lonely, which are different things, this Christmas, that you might seek out volunteer opportunities. And I know they exist, and Google is a beautiful thing for finding what is out there. There are volunteer opportunities around the Christmas period to serve food to the homeless, to deliver food to families who are struggling. There's something called online Christmas lunch, an online Christmas dinner. You could search it up, where people who are eating alone on Christmas gather together on the internet, which I think is a fabulous use of the internet to be able to chat and talk with people instead of eating lunch or dinner alone on Christmas. And if you can get paid work, that's another idea. You know, if that's a possibility for you to work on Christmas Day, perhaps in hospitality. Some people work in healthcare. There are still plenty of jobs that need to be done around that Christmas period. Let's turn now to bereavement. If grief comes up for you at Christmas time, then I would say plan for that. Anticipate that. If you've lost somebody, whether it's a parent, a child, another family member, and Christmas reminds you of how much grief you carry, then I would say plan that into your Christmas celebrations. Make sure you have some time. Don't let it take you by surprise. If you're spiritual, perhaps you meditate or say a prayer for them, or make a symbolic gesture for them. If you're not religious or spiritual, perhaps you just still take some time out to remember them, whether it's an hour, whether there's some symbolic way of bringing them to the table, so to speak. So plan for that if there's bereavement and grief that comes up for you at Christmas time. I think with regards to family tensions and conflict, Christmas Day is tricky because we're having time off work. Hopefully we start to slow down. People come together, but often they are quite anxious. The shops are all closed on Christmas Day, and we're all under one roof sometimes. Christmas Day is not the day to try and resolve family conflicts or have a dialogue about past grievances. Don't do it. Not on Christmas Day. keep it light, plan fun activities, plan games, plan things you can do together, watch together, so that you can keep it light and keep it fun and make some decent memories. Don't let Christmas Day turn into, bringing out the dirty laundry and all the grievances from the past. Do that another day. And be deliberate about that. Plan for that to avoid excessive family tensions. Some family tensions may be inevitable, but let go of that as much as you can, I think, on your Christmas meals that you have together. In terms of financial pressures that some people feel, and I hear about this from some clients, I was on the radio yesterday talking about giving gifts, the psychology of gift giving at Christmas, and the thought is really more important than the monetary value. So there are ways you can spend very little money and make someone feel very known and seen and cared for. The example I gave was the woman who wrote her friend's favourite recipe on parchment paper and framed it, gave it to her and offered to cook it with her and share it with her at a future date, and it didn't really cost any money at all. It was just very thoughtful. There are op shops, there are plenty of ideas on the internet, cheap or free gift ideas. So you don't have to let Christmas send you broke or make you crazy with financial stress. So there's just a few tips for handling the stress of Christmas. Be intentional. Think about this and plan ahead. And I will post a link to an interview I did on ABC Radio last Christmas where I share some of these and more tips for handling stress at this time and surviving Christmas. All the very best to you. See you next time.